Hey beauties, and welcome back to IAmBeautifulHustler TV. Today I'll be doing another lace wig install on my dark skinned friend today. And today's wig is provided by HairsMarket. They didn't send over this beautiful curly wig, and it is a lace front wig. It's actually a 13x4 lace front wig, and it is a 24-inch. And as far as like the texture of this hair, it was pretty soft, and the hairline was not as pre-plucked as I would have liked it to be, but I just did go ahead and bleach the knots and, of course, pluck the hairline out some more before actually installing it. Now, in this video today, I did try out a new technique, and I actually liked the results of it. So I wanted to just share you guys. This is my second time trying this technique out, and I actually loved it. But jumping straight into this video, I'm going to start by spraying the color Deep Dark lace tint from TruMATCHLACECONCEAL, and this is their lace tint. And as I mentioned, it's the color Deep Dark. This is the darkest shade that they have, so I just did about 2 layers of that lace tint underneath that lace wig. But I'm also going to go in using today this, the concealer, like makeup concealer. I used the shade Mahogany, and I'm just going to take my little foundation brush that was provided by TruMATCHLACECONCEAL as well, and just rub that concealer all over the front of that lace wig as well, and on top of that lace as well. Now, I do have regular foundation, but for, I'm trying to find ways that you guys can achieve, great results with spending less money on products. And as you know, the concealer is only about $2.99 each, versus the Ruby Kids foundation being between like $5 to $6 on up, depending on what hair store or makeup store you get them from. So I'm just trying to find cheaper products that give you the same results, and that's why I did it with that concealer today. But nevertheless, I am going to use that BOLDHOLD active glue, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin to apply my layers and spread that glue out until it is completely smooth. And once it turns clear, I will begin to lay down my wig, her wig. So now that all of my layers have turned clear, I'm going to go ahead and begin to pull that lace down into that glue. And I'm going to make sure that she holds each side down. And with this new technique that I've tried out, they will have to hold the lace down just a little bit longer than usual. But, you just have to do what you have to do to get what works best and faster. Which works best and faster as far as for installing your client's wig. So pretty much right here, I'm just going to do the same basic steps that I usually do in all my videos, just having them hold that lace down, blow drying and combing that lace into that glue, pulling that lace, combing the hairs downward and then combing it back as well. But as far as what I did differently in this video, as she's holding that lace down, I did go section by section, taking that bed head styling spray, or you can use the BIOSILK, either one is fine, and I sprayed it all across that hairline. And I'm going to do this from ear to ear before actually cutting off the extra lace. And as you see, I'm combing that hair downward as well, because you already know with that bed head, it does get hard. So to prevent it from getting hard on the hairline, I'm still going to blow dry and comb out the spray so it does not get hard. But what this does is also freezes that lace down to the skin. That way when you do cut off the extra lace, it shouldn't be nothing really that you have to still tack down. It'll probably just be just a tad little bit of lace, but it won't be as much lace that you have to glue down. Because if you've been watching my videos, you know I usually cut off all the lace first, tack everything down, then go in with my bed head or BIOSILK, and then use my melt belt to like really melt it in. But I wanted to just try something different, and I actually love the results that came with this new little method. So just to reiterate what I did go ahead, you know, pull that lace down and everything like that, and blow dry it first, and then went in with that bed head while the lace was still on, while you know, ear to ear, and you know, just blow dry that in. And now I'm cutting off that extra lace, and as I mentioned, that was just so it'll be less hair to tack down after cutting off the lace. But as far as doing the second melting process today, I guess you can say, or if you want to call it the third, I just did go back in with my NAIROBI's mousse and apply that all over their hairline, and then tie it down with that melt belt. So I guess you can call it like a 3-step process then, because I'm using the glue, I'm using the bed head, and then as I mentioned, I will go in with that NAIROBI's mousse, and that will also melt that lace in more, and then give it like that soft, you know, natural look. But as I mentioned, I did use that concealer in the color mahogany, and as you can see, it gave very like skin like results, especially for her skin tone, because most people with darker skin tone, their biggest issue with getting laces is that their laces is always too light for their skin, or it looks too orange, especially if the person did not, you know, tone the knots and everything like that. So to make all of my clients, you know, comfortable with getting laces without worrying about an ashy look or too light or too dark, I just will prefer to do you know, the whole concealer foundation method underneath the laces, as well as lace tint when it is necessary to be used. But in my opinion, I would not use lace tint on every skin tone, just some. But for my lighter skin clients, I think it's best that you don't use lace tint, because it will make the lace too dark. So what I'm going to do is actually purchase some lighter concealers, and just, or even like porcelain colored foundation, and then just try those you know, some lace methods out using that, which I will show that later on in my channel. So let me just do the trial and errors first, and then whatever works, you guys, I was just basically, you know, drop those videos for you. But moving right along, as you can see, I did go ahead and add that mousse, and I'm just taking my Beautiful Hustler melt belt and securing that lace so it can be nice, melted, and soft into the skin. And then once I remove this elastic band, we will go ahead and comb it out. As you can see, it looks softer, and I'm combing out that mousse. And now I'm going to actually begin the styling of this lace wig today. Now, I did glue down the back of her lace, but I didn't really show it on camera because my most recent videos, I show you gluing down the back. So this video was pretty lengthy already. I know you guys love long videos, but I just didn't want to overdo it with you know, the video being too long. So after laying down the back, I'm just going to jump right into the styling. And this is pretty much what the wig looks like. This is after washing. Of course, the pattern can be a little bit tighter, but I did like comb some of the hair out, so that's why it's a little more poofy. But it does have a, you know, a pretty natural curl pattern. But you guys really won't see it because I am going to crimp all of this hair. But before I even crimp it, you guys know I must go in with my wax stick and hot comb and just comb those roots out. And right now I'm just sectioning off the area where my baby hairs will lay, and just hot combing out those roots once again, because I do want baby hairs for this installation. Not crazy baby hairs that she usually get, but just, you know, about 4 baby hairs, just to, you know, give it a different type of look. However, but I will be crimping all of this hair, and I'm going to show me doing some crimps. And for those who want to know where I get my crimping iron from, I do purchase my crimper from Amazon. And I do use the actual bed head, the same hairstyling spray that I use. That's the same brand of crimping iron that I use, the bed head. So Yeah, I use the Better Hair Crimpers, a Wave We Go crimping iron, and I also have another crimping iron by them as well. So I have two. I'm going to get the exact names for you, and that way I can put it in my description box. But I do use both of their crimping irons, but I usually use one all the time, and I use the one that has 4 different levels, meaning 4 different crimp sizes that you can choose from on that one crimping iron. But for today, I did use my crimper, I think on level 3, and it's like the higher you go on the levels with that crimping iron, the bigger the crimp size is. So I went up to level 3 because I wanted a little bit of the bigger size crimps, and I crimped her whole head with that level. Now, as far as the baby hairs today, I just went in with my Got To Be gel, and I'm just going to shape the baby hairs, blow dry them into place, and then begin to crimp the hair. Now, I usually do my baby hairs last. If you've been on my channel and you've been watching videos, you know that's usually like my final step. But because I'm going to crimp the hair and I don't want to mess up the crimps trying to create baby hairs, I decided to just do the baby hairs first, get them out the way, and that way I can just go ahead and begin to crimp the hair on out. So yeah, just stay tuned. So now I have begun to crimp the hair, and at first I didn't use any like holding sprays or anything. I just combed the hair out and began to crimp the hair without any holding sprays. But once I got towards the top, I started to add a little holding spray just to give it a more crisp look. And just more defined like crimping look, even though crimping it without the sprays, and it's because the hair was already curly, it does give it a really nice wave and a really soft look as well. So yeah, I really don't have to add any harsh sprays to this, these sections. But like I said, once I get to the top, I will add some holding spray just to give it a more crisp look. And I'm not going to show me crimping the whole entire head because it's just the same process over and over. And this is a bed hair crimper, as I mentioned earlier before. So I'm just going section by section from left to right and just putting those crimps in their hair. Now, as we're starting to get higher and higher up, I am adding that same bed head styling spray just to give the top crimps, like I said, more definition and more crispiness, and everything like that. So now we're getting closer and closer to the top, and I'm just crimping the rest of that in. And I just did make the sections a little bit kind of bigger when it got to like the front, because adding too many layer of crimps, like it won't be as, how can I say this, it won't be as smooth, like as far as laying it down to the top. So when I get to the front, I try not to add so many layers of crimps. Like the bigger, I try to make the sections as big as I can with the crimps still looking, nice. Like you don't want to do too many small sections of crimps, because then it would seem like too much, and you won't be able to blend them and lay them down like you need to. So I do take bigger sections for the front as far as the crimps. And you guys know I like to blend all of my crimps in. I don't like the separation look of crimps where you can see where I crimped each section. I like everything to blend in and everything like that. So pretty much what I'm doing to this side, I'm just going to repeat the same exact steps to the other side as well. So now that I'm done crimping everything, I'm just going to take my bed hair spray and just, brush everything down, give it a more controlled, blended look, and, just combing it over and getting it to fall how I want to fall. I did not crimp the hair all the way to the edges because if she wanted to pull this behind the ear, once the crimps drop, it would still be able to be pulled behind the ear. And that's another reason why I did the baby hairs first, so that way it's already in place, so she could pull both sides behind the ear if she want to. And then when the crimps drop a little bit and become softer and everything like that, it would just flow, and it will also give this curly hair a nice pattern and everything like that. But now I'm just going to go ahead and conceal the part, and I did use a lighter concealer shade than her actual skin tone, just to make that part really defined, because you don't want it to be too dark where you don't really see like the part. And I'm just showing you how she can pull this back on both sides if she please, put a bobby pin, do whatever she please, as well. So I'm just pretty much finished with this look. Let me know what you guys think. I will drop a little video at the end so you can really see. And yeah, thank you guys for staying tuned to IAmBeautifulHustler TV, and make sure you do turn on your bells because we have many videos coming this week, so stay tuned for the finishing look.